Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another brand new video. Today's video, we're going to be doing some much needed maintenance. What I have here is the Motul chain care kit, and this is for road bikes. So if you guys have an off-road bike, make sure to get the off-road one. And if you guys have a street bike like myself, go ahead and get the road one. This video is not sponsored, but from what I've seen, Motul is the best in the game. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to service and tension your chain. Now when you guys are doing this can get a little bit messy, so as you guys can see right here, I got myself a cardboard box, and you may be wondering why I have that, but I'll show you guys in just one second. And if you guys checked out the last video, you may have seen that I'm wearing like the exact same clothes, and that's because I'm filming this video back to back from the last video. And if you guys didn't check that out, we went ahead and removed the GPS cradle from the front of the bike, and I think it looks so much better. So go check out that video. I'll have it linked up here in the top right if you guys haven't checked that out yet. In order to actually access the chain, we have to remove the chain guard and another piece of plastic over there, so I'll show you guys how to do that now. Get yourself a T30 and remove the screw on top of the rear swing arm. And then you'll also have two more which are on top of the back of the swing arm right there. After removing those three T30s, there's going to be this side piece here. There's one T30 here and one on top. Take this off so it exposes the T30 that's behind here. And lastly, go through here to remove this last T30. Just like that. We got the rear swing arm and chain guard off. Now if you guys saw at the start of this video, I traced out this piece here. It's not the best of my work skills here. It doesn't fit very good, but at least it can go behind there, so when I'm servicing the chain, it doesn't get spray all over my wheel and everything. Alright you guys, in the kit from Motul, you guys are going to receive a sticker, the brush to clean, the cleaner and the lubricant, and then as you guys can see what I'm wearing is some Motul branded gloves, just so your hands don't get dirty. Now before I get into this, I will mention that it is so much easier if you guys have a center stand or a rear set stand, just so you're able to freely move the wheel in the back. Otherwise, you're going to have some sort of thing holding this thing up so the rear wheel can move by itself. Alright, you guys can see that I have made my little U shape there to block off the wheel and anything else behind that might get dirty. First product you want to grab yourself is the Motul Chain Clean, and we're going to go ahead and thoroughly spray the sprockets and the chain while rotating the tire. Now that I've soaked that up, I'm going to let it sit for a minute just so it can eat away at the grease. Now that I've let this sit for a little while, grab the brush and go ahead and start scrubbing. Now that I've gone ahead and fully scrubbed and let it sit on the chain, grab yourself a towel and wipe it all down. Now just from scrubbing around once, the sprockets on the chain look so much cleaner. So next I'm going to go ahead and reuse some more cleaner and then wipe it off once again. And then we're also going to spray the sprockets here and clean those off. So once again, hitting it with the chain clean. Go ahead and take the brush, but this time use the backside to clean off the sprockets. And lastly, grab the rag once again and clean them both off. Alright you guys, as if you couldn't tell already, it got way darker. I've been spending the last like 20 minutes just scrubbing the heck out of this chain because it hasn't been serviced since the 600 mile service, and I'm at like 2,500 miles now. So I just want to make sure it's really clean, but instead of lubricating it now, I'm going to wait until the morning because I want to wash the whole bike because it's filthy right now, and then I'm going to lubricate after I actually wash the whole bike. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. Hello everybody, it is now the next day. We had to cut it short last night because it was starting to get really dark, but I'm going to grab the bike, pull it to the front, and then we should be able to finish tensioning the chain and lubricating it as well as washing it, because if you guys can't tell, this thing is filthy. You guys, as we were cleaning the bike chain, we got a special guest, Mr. Jack. We're gonna go cruise around later, so he's washing the M2 up. Mine's already pretty much clean, so I'm not gonna bother cleaning mine, but we're kind of duoing this right now as I'm cleaning my chain and he's washing the M2. Alright you guys, now that you have successfully cleaned the bike as well as cleaned the chain, grab yourself the chain lube and we're gonna go ahead and grease the entire chain. When you guys are doing this, put a towel underneath and then get the straw end of the chain lube and make sure that you guys are greasing up the little gaskets that are in between the chain and not the actual chain itself, because that's what you're trying to get lubed up. Do a little section and then move on to the next. Alright you guys, I have completely lubricated the chain and I did also put this piece of tape here, and you may be wondering what that's for. I highly recommend this. Put a little piece of tape on the side of the chain so then you know where you started, so when you rotate it all the way around you know where to stop. That way you don't grease things twice or cut it short. Alright you guys, so if you could not already tell, we're in a completely different day. I've now changed because it's pouring rain outside. As you guys saw in the last clips of this video, it was sunny outside and super nice, but I actually had to wait a few days. I had to order a socket for the swing arm nut right here. So that's actually a way bigger socket than most people would typically have. So I'll show you guys exactly what that is right now. So what I have here, I just ordered this off of Amazon. You guys can go get a more expensive socket if you want, but really you just need something to be able to loosen that rear nut on the swing arm. And what you guys will need for this is a 34mm socket. This one is a 1/2 inch drive and it's a 6-point. That way I make sure I don't strip anything out, and just 6 points are much less likely to round out the nut. Before we go ahead and loosen the rear nut here, take a look at the side of your swing arm, and on my bike specifically it says between 35 and 45mm of play, and that means when you hold up a measuring tape or a ruler here that the chain should not exceed more than 35 or 45mm of play up and down. We're going to go ahead, pop the socket here on the rear swing arm nut, go ahead and loosen that, and then on the back of the swing arm there's an adjustment point here as well as the other side, and we're going to go ahead and twist those until this measurement reads between 35 and 45mm in up and down play. That will allow us to tension the chain properly. Alright you guys, just to recap really quickly on what tools you will need for this job. Some sort of ratchet with a T45 Torx bit, the 34mm socket so you guys are able to break loose this rear nut and then tighten it. Measuring tape so you can measure how far up and down the chain goes. And lastly, a breaker bar or a torque wrench so then you guys are able to actually loosen and tighten this nut. Go ahead and grab the 34mm socket and loosen this in at least 1 or 2 turns. Taking a look right here, this is going to be our adjustment point, and there's the exact same one on the other side. Move this by quarter turns at a time, and each time you turn it a quarter, make sure to do that the same on the other side, and then halfway through that you'll do one side and then the other side. Go back and measure the distance and make sure that it's matching the specified distance that's on the rear swing arm. Alright, I just tightened these both 1/2 turn on either side. Now I can go back here and check. As you can see, the chain is way less loose. Now I'm going to go ahead and measure it. So after doing about 1/2 turn on either side, I have about 1 inch of play, and 40mm is around 1.6 inches, so I have to make sure that I loosen it a little bit more so that I can get about 0.6 more inches of play in the chain. Now that I've gone ahead and loosened it a little bit, I'm going to give it another spin to let the chain settle, and then measure once again. That's 1.25 inches, so I need to go just a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1/8 of a turn loosen now. Alright, that's 1/8 of a turn on the other side. Let's go ahead and settle in the chain, and then remeasure. Alright you guys, so it looks like I've gotten it to about 34.999 millimeters. I converted it from inches, and it's from 35 millimeters to 45 millimeters, so I'm going to call that good. I'd rather have it a little bit tight than loose. Now all is left to do is torque that rear axle nut, and what I've found online is that this torques to 74 foot-pounds or 100 newton meters. So I've gone ahead and set my torque wrench to just 80 foot-pounds just to be safe. So now I'm going to go ahead and torque that rear axle nut. Now that everything is re-put back together and torqued, I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel a few times and then recheck the chain tension just to be sure that everything's settled in all right. Alrighty you guys, it looks like I have about 1.5 inches of play, which comes out to about 38 millimeters, and specification for this is 35 to 45 millimeters. So we're in the clear, we got everything tensioned properly. Now all is left to do is just re-put on my chain guard and the heel guard, and then we're all good to go. Alright you guys, that's going to conclude today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, or if this video helped you out, please make sure to leave it a like and consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.